In this video, I will tell you the story of how I upgraded my Ryzen 5 with a 1050 Ti. Background to this video, and feel free to check out the other video after this video where I upgraded the RAM on my home build. But basically about a year ago, I decided I wanted to build my own computer, if not further back than that. And I spent a lot of time, looking into it, watching videos and stuff like that. So I basically made my own build computer, and you'll see images of that as I talk. And I basically come up with a Ryzen 5, sort of a mid card. It came with Vegas graphics, which to be fair have been more than I've needed for the games I've played. And this is basically my mess around computer. Now you're probably thinking, what's this got to do with content creation? Well, I've got two main computers, one I use for editing and live streaming, and the other one's my mess around one. So I just thought I would try something new. So I thought this video might interest some of you and pull in new people and that sort of thing. So over about a year I thought, you know what, it's time I upgraded it. So in my last video I upgraded it with some more RAM. It's now got 32 instead of 16 DDR4. So I installed another DIMM, and it's performed much better, and I was very happy with it. But I just thought, you know what, even though I don't necessarily need it, I felt, to future-proof my home build, I needed to give it a graphic card. So I did a lot of research, I watched lots of videos again. So I basically came up with the 1050 Ti, which is, sort of quite a good graphic card. I know those of you out there might go, Dave, you should get this and you should get that, but I wasn't going to spend like £800 or dollars on a graphic card. I just wanted something that was, gave a bit more power to my home build, and it's more of a sort of a side project. And I just want to do a bit of light gaming on it and that sort of thing. I'm Dave from TVR Creators, and I usually make videos on cameras and content creation and how to improve your video. So if that sounds interesting to you and this is something new, stick around, subscribe and like the video. This is the adventure that I went on. So I got my home build, it was all ready, I opened it up and I thought, right, now for those of you that have watched the other video, you may know that I stupidly, when I built it, I actually, the rear fan, the power cable to it is actually got pinned underneath my motherboard, and it sadly was in the way of where I needed to put the graphic card. So I was just like, okay, how am I going to deal with this? So I briefed around, looked at it for quite a while. I was just like, oh god, this is a pain. So I looked around it for a bit, and as you can see, there's some footage of that. And I thought, right, I need to basically rebuild the computer, which I'll be honest, I didn't really fancy doing. I just wanted to plug in the graphic card, but at the same time I didn't want to bodge job it, because I felt, as some of you may see, because it's quite a big case, I made it quite a clean build, and I'm very happy of how it's performing, so I didn't really want to ruin anything. So basically I undid some of the screws, I pulled out some of the cables, but at the same time I didn't want to unplug everything. And just for note, for those of you that build your own computer, make sure you earth yourself by just touching the shell of the case. And just so you know, I've only built a couple of computers, I'm not a full-blown pro, so don't take everything I say as gospel. This is just my adventure of building my own computer. So, so basically, I'll be honest, I was a little bit lazy and I only pulled out a few of the cables. And I do not recommend this whatsoever, but I took out the motherboard gradually, and I then noticed that, okay, I might be able to just reposition the cable. So I took off the back panel of the case, and I was able to reposition the cable, and without unplugging absolutely everything, I was able to basically reposition the cable so it was a bit easier to get to. Now I'll be brutally honest, the MI shield, or whatever you call it, I've been completely Dumbledore what you call it, with the lights and whatnot, but the IO shield is awkward at best, and it's got lots of little sticky metal bits. It's a real pain and all that jazz. So I spent a little while messing with that. I think at that point I turned off the camera because it was just doing my head in, feeling like I was being watched as I was trying to do this. It was really annoying, but basically I was able to then lift the motherboard, and I was able to reposition the cable, and I was able to get the cable way out the way without rebuilding the whole build. So that was something I was really happy about. That was something that was really, really cool. So then I was able to put the motherboard back in, put the screws back in. I didn't actually plug in the CPU power cable till a bit later. Again, I don't recommend not doing this, but I personally should have unplugged everything. It would have been safer and easier. It was a little bit awkward putting the motherboard back in, mainly because the MI shield was just being a real pain. But anyway, once that was all done, I then go, right, I've got a bit more room now, so I took off the little back panel. There's like a slot. There's lots of little slots in the back. So you probably know the official term for them. I've been Dumbledored that as well. So right, I got the graphic card. I got it all ready, and to be fair, it was really nice. I just got it secondhand off eBay from a real nice company or guy, whoever it was. He actually rang me up and asked me if I'd done it before. He emailed me loads of details. I'll be honest, I didn't use them, but he emailed me loads of details of how to install it if I've not done it before and that sort of thing. That was really cool of him, actually. That was really nice. And he even rang me up to make sure, you know, to tell me it was on the way and all that sort of jazz. So that guy, whoever he was, I can't remember his name now. I think it was called Mark or something. But really nice bloke and very, very helpful. And if I had any questions, he was very helpful. Right, I need to install it. So I'll be honest, there's a bit of footage here, but it was quite fiddly. Now, at first, I didn't know if it was because of the cable. Was the cable just in the way? But I had repositioned it way out of the way, and I got rid of one of the slots because it's quite a bulky graphic card. It's still probably a sort of semi-entry level one compared to the beasts that you can get. But anyway, so I went to slot it in the express port, and I thought, right, okay. So I didn't want to break the clip because I must admit on the on the previous build I've done, I accidentally broke the clip, so I didn't want to do that on this one. So I was very gentle with it, and I was trying to put it in, and it just wouldn't go in. And at first I was thinking, is it the cable in the way? Have I not quite? Do I need to completely rebuild it, which I probably should have done? But anyway, so I turned off the camera in sort of frustration. Thought, right, just take your time, Dave. And I basically it was just fiddly. I think, being brutally honest, it was just because that particular slot has never had anything in it. And as I'm sure you appreciate with ports and USB ports and just anything in general, when they're new, they're quite sort of stiff, aren't they? So that's something that I thought, yeah, that's probably why. So I just took my time, just wiggled it and just kept pushing gently, but at the same time try not to break the motherboard or the graphic card. I highly recommend just taking your time. If you're unsure how to do it, just watch a video on YouTube. Anyway, I eventually did it, which felt like forever. I was getting really frustrated with myself. I was like, come on, Dave, you can do it. Anyway, so I eventually put it in, and I was like, woo! So I got the screw, and I screwed it in, and it felt secure. And I realised I'd forgotten to put the CPU power cable back in, so I plugged that back in, made sure nothing was loose, it was still a clean build, it was still all gravy. And then it's what I call the Jurassic Park moment. Hold on to your butts. And I'm happy to say that it booted up fine. And I was just like, woo! I must admit, I was really worried because, as you might know if you've seen the RAM video, when I put the RAM in, I didn't quite put it in right, and the computer got all confused and all the rest of it. So I loaded that up, and from there I basically installed the driver, which it pretty much did itself really. And then I was like, oh, and something else I did actually, I got myself, because I'm a bit old school, I got an older monitor, it's just how I like to use a computer so I can use it longer. I got myself a gold-plated VGA to DVI, I believe that's the right term, cable, because the graphic card only had HDMI or DVI, or old school as I call it, and it was a nice gold-plated one. So straight away with the mixture of that and the graphic card, instantly I was like, ooh, the colours are definitely sharper, it definitely feels cleaner and all that sort of thing. So I was like, it's obviously working. So once the driver was installed, I was like, oh, wicked, and hey presto. And then what was annoying was the sound wasn't working. I think the driver was trying to control the sound, or I don't know what it was doing. Anyway, I played around with the ports, got it working. I tested it on a game, Total War game called Britannia, or whatever it's called, and and that was real fun, and I could tell the difference. There was much more detail. The only thing I did notice was it wasn't much quicker loading, but I think that's just because perhaps I need faster RAM maybe down the road, or perhaps, you know, it's still quite a cheap Ryzen 5 compared to other ones. It's the 2600G, I think it is. I'll put if you're interested, the info will be in the description, and if you're getting value from this video, smash the like button and consider subscribing.
If you would like to help our brand and support the channel, why not check out our merch? We've got t-shirts, we've got mugs, and from time to time we add to the list, so go check it out, link in the description. And also, if you want to support the channel, like and subscribe this video.
So that was basically the rundown of my adventure of installing my graphic card and my home build. If you want any more, if you've got any questions or you want to know more about it, or let me know if you enjoyed this type of video, let me know in the comments below. I will leave a few links to some of the things I've used in this video, so check them out in the links below, and at the end of the video there will be an end card to the other video if you want to check out how I upgraded my RAM, and that video is also quite entertaining. And anyway, I hope you got value from today's video, I hope you learned something, or if anything I hope it was just entertaining. So for me, Dave, here at TVR Creators, have a great day. Check out the other video, go on, check it out, subscribe, like, share the video, and you know what, have an absolute great day.